Welcome back, and thanks again for tuning in. We want to move to our segment of our program to give you some breaking news in the Christian community. And this particular story we pulled off of the Newswire. We just want to share with you so that you can be aware, so that you can be praying. In Indianapolis, there is a cookie shop, a bakery known as Just Cookies, that could face possible eviction from their longtime location because they refuse to fill an order from a college homosexual group. This bakery has operated in this city for over 20 years, and the president of the board that oversees the market told the Indianapolis Star newspaper, quote, "I would hate to lose them as a tenant. But that could very well happen because this bakery has taken a stand for morals, a stand for ethics in their community." And the controversy arose when the owners of the bakery refused a special order, and I want you to pay close attention to this. This coming week in the United States is National Coming Out Day. This is a day that's been set aside by our nation, and I never thought I would live to breathe those words, but a day has been set aside by our nation for those who are struggling with homosexuality to just come out of the closet, accept that lifestyle, and encourage their friends and family around them to accept that they're coming out as homosexuals. And so that National Coming Out Day is this week, and this college homosexual activist group had placed an order for rainbow cookies representing the homosexual theme and logo, and the bakery has refused to fill the order. The key here, the twist to this story, is in Indianapolis there was a ordinance in the city passed called a sexual orientation ordinance for businesses, so that it would bring sexual orientation up to the level of race, discrimination, and all of that. So this ordinance is in place, so it very well may be that this bakery, in operation for over 20 years, will be evicted from their place of business, and also refuse a business permit and a business license in Indianapolis to operate any longer as a bakery. And as I read this story, of course, AFA, the American Family Association, a very, very strong voice for morals in our country today. And I encourage you, if you've not already, to go to AFA's website, sign up for their mailing list, and they will keep you up to date on all current issues, such as the one we're discussing today. But they're already getting involved. Their Indiana spokesman has argued for the rights of the business owners, and I want to quote him. He said, "It's one thing if someone walks into a store and buys a cookie off the shelf, but the Stocktons there at the cookie shop were being asked to become part of a pro-homosexual celebration to make rainbow cookies for a special event, which the company has a disagreement. He feels that goes beyond the pale of what we should expect companies to do." So he's stepping in and saying it wasn't like they were refused service, but this company just decided to refuse a special order. Now, Sonia and I operate a bakery right here out of our own home, and we reserve the right to refuse any order that comes through our bakery. That's just the right that we have as the business owners. And so it just makes you wonder, about how the system is operating these days. One twist on this story said, what if the bakery owners were Muslim? What if they were Muslim and a Christian came in and wanted some cross cookies? And the Muslims made the cookies and implanted bombs in them. it would take this whole thing to a whole nother level, right? Because then there would be that religious conflict. There's already that floating around in the air of the issue between Muslims and Christians, and there's all the going on about the mosque being built at ground zero. And the reason that was interjected into the story as I read it was because it's on the flip side of the coin. You've got a Christian business owner who is standing up and saying, I will not fill this order. It is not in line with my morals, and it's not in line with my beliefs. And so instead of him being able to stand on the premise of this is my religious freedom, he's caught up in all these business ordinances and these protection laws, and it just goes to show you that our nation is in trouble. But have no fear, because that homosexual group there on that college did find a bakery that would fill their order right down the road. And I'm not going to name that bakery's name because I wouldn't want to do them the justice of giving them any advertisement on my program. But they did fill the order, and I hope maybe they watch my program someday and contact me. Maybe we'll get in a bake-off or something. But I thought it was so relevant that I share that with you. Just because the story is interesting, yes, but you need to be aware that this week, all across our nation, young people, teenagers, preteens, adults, people of all shapes, size, background, ethnicity, in our churches, in our schools, they're going to be encouraged to come out with their homosexual lifestyle and just promenade it around, and not only that, but encourage their family and friends and their churches to accept that lifestyle. You need to be aware that that's happening this week, because we need to be covering that in prayer. So I want you to be educated. I want our viewers to be educated to things like this. That's why I take this segment to just share with you, because I want you to be educated as the current events that are happening around us in our nations and in our community. So, yeah, keep that in mind. We're going to move right in. I don't know how much time we've got left on this segment, but we'll just march on until it's time for us to take a break. On Friday, we began to discuss some topics that had our show just hopping Friday. We had several viewers, several comments coming in. We've spoken to several of our viewers, and I would like to just say hi to a couple of them today. One of our dear friends, Janine, up in Grundy County, she's been tuning into the broadcast, and Janine, we just thank God for you and for you finding our broadcast and tuning in, and we hope that you will find time to tune in each day, and if you can't, we hope you'll catch up on with the programs on YouTube. Also, we've got two dear friends of ours, and Sonia will know who I'm talking about, but they just said to mention them as Bulldog 1 and Bulldog 2. Two partners in crime, I guess you could call them, in Grundy County. One of them's redheaded, that's all I'll say about that. And they've been tuning in to our program, and so we love you guys and miss you all, and hope you'll continue to tune in as often as you can. But we were discussing about the danger of becoming so self-righteous as a Christian that we convince ourselves that we're above sin, that we're above sinners, and that we are above even Christians who don't live as holy of a lifestyle as we live. And we really hit on some serious topics there as we begin to dive into those topics. And then we're going to be discussing are some of the demands, and as I read this question, send us your feedback, send us your answers to this question. Do you feel some of the demands of church leadership today are to be so perfect that they're unattainable by people, so people no longer want to even go to church because they feel that they can't live up, to those standards. How do you feel about that, Sonia? Do you feel that there is still that, you came from a background of, if you just share for just a few minutes before we go to break, you came from a background of never being able to wear pants as a child and things of that nature. Do you still feel like those are the kind of legalistic things we're dealing with today, or is it coming at another angle?
I don't think it's as much that anymore, because most churches now are pretty lenient on the dress. As far as, when we first moved down here in March, we started visiting around different churches, and of course now that we sing around at different churches, that's not as much the issue anymore. People are coming out of that, but it's leaning more towards now, in a lot of places that, well, as pastors, when we were pastoring, I know that Sam will probably kill me for saying this, but Sam is a perfectionist, and he likes things done just so. So in the church, he wanted people to live the way he wanted people to live, And I think that there's more people like that in the body of Christ that, honestly and truly, it just doesn't give anybody leeway to fall off the bandwagon. I think that sometimes we forget that in our young Christian life that there was things we had to learn the hard way and let God tend to us and let God take us out to the woodshed, if you will, type thing.
Somebody had to be patient with us.
Yeah, I don't think that we should sit back and condone it, by no means. But we can let them know, this is not proper for a Christian to be doing this or whatever, and I'm just going to pray for you. People that have issues that we don't deal with, we might have dealt with them early on in our Christian walk with the Lord, and now it looks like we never struggled with it, because it's 14 years or 15 years hindsight,
Yeah. So gentle correction versus harsh line up.
Yeah. I understand harsh line up if you told that person over and over and over and they say they understand and they even say that they're convicted of it and they know without a shadow of a doubt that this is a sin.
Right.
I feel like that you can come in and gently correct someone without being harsh, but it's just like a child. If you tell them not to touch the stove and they get around it, don't go over there, that's hot. But the moment that they get close enough to fall off the egg, that they're going to touch the stove, you have to get pretty harsh, to keep them away because they're fixing to experience. And then sometimes you just have to let them loose because you're not close enough to grab their hand. You have to let them loose and let them learn the hard way.
But do it from love.
Yes.
Do it from love and not do it from because I want to control you.
Right.
And because I don't want you to misrepresent me in this community or misrepresent the church in this community.
Right.
Sit tight. We're going to take another break, and we'll be back to continue with this